Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 12. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me as always is my good friend
James Craigie, and I'm being very careful what I say because we are going out live.
It's very true. At the moment we are streaming this episode live on Ustream, unless you're listening to it via the podcast, by downloading it.
In which case, where were you? You missed it.
Well, we put out a tweet earlier and a message over Facebook.
So there's no excuses. It's your own fault.
Well, basically saying that we wanted to do. It's more of a little test, right? Because we were doing this because we want to do a live show in the near future. Well, in the future. Let's not say near future. In the future, right? And so we wanted to test it out to make sure that we could do it. And this is us testing it out. So some people listen to us live, and most of you are probably listening to a recording.
How many people are listening to us live?
One.
One person.
So anyway, let's not talk about that. So anyway, what have we been playing?
You start.
What have you? Oh, okay. You want me to start? That's cool.
I'll let you start.
Okay. Well, basically, when this goes up as part of the podcast feed, there'll also be a video of Kane Lynch 2, and it's my video review of Kane Lynch 2. That's basically what I've been playing. Kane Lynch 2, playing it for review. Finished it, so that's great. Didn't take long. It's about 4.5 hours to 5 hours of game.
Considering you got a couple of days early,
exactly.
You finished it before the official release date.
We're lucky to get a day too early, and so I've managed to get the video done, and so it's cool. It comes out tomorrow, the actual game and the video, so quite nice and tidy that. But so been playing that. I don't want to say too much because the video's coming out, but it's pretty average, freaking average. I mean, we played the demo a couple of months ago, and we both I agreed that it was better than the original game.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it's more of a game.
I agreed it was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but really, that demo, that level, pretty much shows off the game.
Right.
There's really nothing more than just kind of shooting motherfuckers in the face. I really hope I can say motherfuckers on Ustream. Anyway, right? So it's basically. Yeah, you're just taking... It's like Gears of War, but a lot less interesting. With
Excellent.
Two old dudes. I mean, I didn't ever try it co-op or anything like that, or split screen or any of that crap. But, I mean, it's pretty average, really. I mean, it's way better than the first game. But, it's too little too late, really.
Yeah.
Very short. But in a way, I think it probably works for it because, if I'd played this for 8 hours, I probably would have got really, really tired of it.
Right.
So... I don't know, and it's got some right achievements and stuff thrown in there, so it's all good.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, my video reviews is going to be up tomorrow or today, depending on when you're downloading and listening to this. But yeah, so if you want to know more about Kane Lynch 2, probably best you go look at that because it's pretty informative. I like to think.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what else have you been playing?
Well, other than that, I've been playing Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
A little bit of that because it's been sat in my pile of games. And I played a lot of the first one. Actually, me and my girlfriend used to play a lot of the first one split screen.
Yeah.
And we used to love playing that, man. It's, awesomeness. So, got Left 4 Dead 2, never really got around to playing it. Because, so many games were coming out. And it just got swept to one side. But I've picked it up now and played through it. It's alright. It's pretty much the same game as the first one.
Sort of an expansion pack.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, they've made little tweaks here and there, but to be fair, it's nothing that... It's not a reason to go out and buy it, unfortunately. But
so if you don't have either, would you recommend the first one or the second one?
I don't know. I mean, some of the additions are pretty cool for the second one. I don't really know. I haven't finished this, so I can't really talk too much about it. I'm close to the end of it, but this game, Left 4 Dead doesn't take long to play through. Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I'm not sure. I've got fond memories of the first one, so maybe personally I would prefer the first one.
Okay.
But you can buy it really cheap now anyway. It's probably, you can get it for like 15 quid online, so, go for it. 15 quid, bargain.
Excellent.
It's worth it for the 15 quid, full price. If you've already got the first one, I wouldn't have recommended it back in the day, but,
Okay.
So, but other than that, good fun. Lots of killing zombies with various weapons and a lot more melee in this game, actually, in number 2. A lot gorier as well in places. So, if you like more gore and, taking off zombie heads with guitars and things like that, then, yes, probably right up your alley. Your turn. What have you been playing?
Well, because I've been working, I've not had a chance to play as much as I would like. But I have now joined the ranks of real men, and I've completed the first Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
I think that deserves a fanfare.
It does, but we can't do it live, can we?
No, we can't do it live. Anyway.
So
yeah, if you're hearing a fanfare now, you've obviously downloaded it.
Yeah, yay me.
So well done. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
had an issue with the disc that you had. So
Yeah, it was racist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway.
I have to explain that. It is funny. Had a scratch on the disc, and it was the most unusual thing ever because all the British voices came out fine. But every time you spoke to someone with an accent or someone speaking a foreign language, no audio at all.
Strange.
That is very strange. I don't know later on in the game if it
that
would
is very
affect
unusual
anything else.
because I mean you've got a black Xbox. So.
I know.
Anyway,
I know.
right. Sorry. Right. So you've got you've played through Call of Duty 4, or
Yeah.
let's just say Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah.
If you want to put it that way. I lent you my copy of it because obviously you can play your racist version. How did you find it? How was it?
Actually, I loved it.
Yeah, I know. I got the
thought
impression
it was
of that.
really,
yeah.
really good. I mean, it's something about. It's not a long game, but I don't think it needs to be.
Nah,
Because you get like some like really, really long games where it feels like it's a grind and a drag. This one is
it's quality over quantity.
yeah, it's paced so well. It is literally it's like playing a movie.
Yeah,
It's like playing a war film.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So we were talking last week about sort of games into movies and everything. This is pretty much it. This is kind of it's every war movie, sort of current event war movie ever made.
Yeah.
As a game,
Essentially, yeah.
and yeah, so
I mean, you've enjoyed that.
yeah, I love some like the set pieces. Excellent. I won't go too much into spoilers, but
I don't think there's many people who haven't played it.
well, no, but still, you never know. My recommendation might
Okay, go
put
for
some
it.
people who are like sitting on the fence
that's
about
fine. No
it.
spoilers, fine. Yeah, okay.
But it's like little things. Like for most people, like the difference between a first and third person shooter is just like a perspective thing. But no, I actually felt really sort of engaged by it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sort of watching over the shoulder of this person. I am this person. The people around me are affecting me. And I actually got into the whole sort of soldier mindset. Luckily, I'm sort of crap. I'd be a complete dick as a soldier. But no, I found myself.
There's a lot of friendly fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found there was one time as Captain Price came around the corner, and I stabbed him because I was just shocked. I wasn't expecting him to be there. But
to attach it through you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's the little things. It's like a lot of games where you have like exposition and plot and character development. They sort of take you out of the game and explain us and like cutscenes and everything.
Yeah, there's nothing like that.
No. With this, all the exposition and cutscenes and everything happens in game. It's like sort of the pauses between the beats. They sort of fill that with it, and like the loading.
Very clever. It's very clever.
And like the loading screens for the little movies explaining everything there, it kind of sets it all off perfectly. So it's paced so well. It's literally like playing a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, not a long game, but it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And no, it was just so much fun. And okay, I did mess up a few times, but it was a lot of trial and error. And I found like the learning curve wasn't too hard. Sort of once you got
figured
into
a way
it,
to do things, certain missions.
and some levels, dude, so epic, so epic. And you've now lent me Modern Warfare 2, which I will be playing this week, and hopefully get a fanfare for next week's show.
Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be good to hear your thoughts on that as well. Because I mean, it's not for you. It's something you're aware of it. You're aware of the Call of Duty franchise. You've seen stuff. You kind of like the look of it, but it's not something you'd rush out day one and buy.
No, because I think it's fair to say that I'm sort of like a sci-fi fantasy nut. And that's always sort of where I'm immediately led, whereas the sort of like the real world sort of setting never sort of done. But no, this totally got me. The story, it is like every proper action movie Hollywood blockbuster thing, which is really good. And no, I loved it.
I think you'll enjoy Modern Warfare 2 quite a bit then. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah,
sort of it's amped up. It's like it's turned up to 11 kind of thing. So you love that.
Like your T-shirt.
Yes. Thanks, Nathan. Yeah. Okay, that's great. So is that everything you've been playing?
That is all I've been playing. But quite frankly, that's all I needed to play.
Excellent. Oh, that's great news. Well, we're gonna have a break after that short bit there, but we are going to come back with some news, and it is specifically Quakecon news and what we have of Gamescom news.
Hey.
So we'll be back in a minute. Hey, hello, and welcome back to the Games4all podcast.
Howdy.
This week's show is going to be pretty much dedicated to Quakecon that happened last week, and Gamescom, which is happening right now in Germany.
Yeah,
right?
I sort of snuck up on me a bit. I knew Gamescom was happening,
Yeah.
and everything, but I didn't know Quakecon was happening until boom, there it is.
So basically speaking, we had E3, and that's the big one, right?
Yeah.
Lots of stuff gets unveiled. That's when it's, hey, look at this, you know?
A lot of stuff gets elaborated on later on.
Yeah, and afterwards we get to find out some more of the juicy details about stuff, right? Basically speaking. So the games we already knew existed and we've seen bits of, we get to see more of before they come out, really, which is kind of cool. So let's start with QuakeCon. That happened last week. Now, we mentioned about Ken Levine's big announcement last week. And,
yes.
You know, Bioshock Infinite, things like that. Id were due to make a big announcement. And we mentioned that last week, but it wasn't announced in time for the show.
No.
So when it comes to recording it, it hadn't already been announced. But basically speaking, it was, John Cormack from id came out and said, our new game Rage, it's fucking awesome. Here's it running on the iPhone. 60 frames a second. Right? Great for people with an iPhone. Yeah. If they even want to play this game, you know. It is cool what they're doing tech-wise. It doesn't use the full Tech 5 engine. It's just bits and pieces of it, but it runs pretty cool and it's quite impressive.
So sort of like a miniature stunted
version. But I mean, it pretty much knocks any Xbox or PS2 game out of the water. So, tech-wise, yeah.
Blimey.
Pretty fucking amazing. So
it's
that's
not
really,
Doom 4 though, is it?
It isn't Doom 4. Now that's something I was going to mention actually later because there's basically no mention of Doom 4 whatsoever. No. Last year they said, wait till next year, Doom 4, you know, and turns out no, big no show, yeah, basically. And there've been some apologies made over it actually. Whoever douche said there'd be Doom 4.
Don't open up the big can of douche again. The
douchebag, right? He fucking said that there's going to be Doom fucking 4 at this year's QuakeCon, right? Is had to apologise.
Yeah.
So you know, if you're listening, which you're not, because you're not our one listener, you're a fucking douche. Where's Doom 4? Anyway, right, so yeah, apologies made for that. Rage has been dated for September 2011. That's not really an announcement as such. The big thing they were unveiling was that they've got this tech running on the iPhone, and there will be a smallish version of the game available at some point.
Might have to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty
my
amazing.
PC
stuff.
won't run the full game, so
yeah, you might as well just play it on the iPhone.
Yeah,
no, it's kind of a cool thing though. But yeah, I mean, it's not it is groundbreaking, but it ain't like mind blowing. Like, oh my god, this is such an amazing announcement. It only really affects a small handful of people. So, what
with something small in their hands?
Yeah. So that's pretty much their big announcement. So we mentioned it this week anyway.
Hey,
like we said we would. So anyway. You know who ZeniMax Media are?
Yes.
They own Bethesda.
Yep.
And they also own id as of last year, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. They've acquired another studio called Arcane Studios.
Why does it sound familiar?
You might know them from Dark Messiah of Might and Magic.
Yes, I do.
Right, okay. They also did some work on Bioshock 2. Some level design work. Although obviously they went a big part of it. They weren't really mentioned at the beginning, but I'm sure they got a mention in the credits and stuff. Not that I would have noticed. But yeah, they contributed to things like that. And then they've done some work on certain games. They've announced a few things they're working on, but not really shown anything of it and blah, blah, blah. But they've been bought by ZeniMax Media, so they're now sort of been consumed by that big company and who own Bethesda and id. Yeah, and you know, so it's kind of they're working on something, but they're not saying what it is. So it's an announcement of nothing, basically. We've bought this company, they're doing something. Amazing. It's fantastic news.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, you know, they were a small studio who didn't have an awful lot of money, so they had to put a hold on what project they were working on. But now they've been bought, they're either going to be able to continue that work or work on something even better. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, you know. So anyway, that's just sort of the gist of what happened at QuakeCon. Not massive stuff. Stuff was shown off that we've already seen, and you know, if you were there, it was playable. Basically, it's more just an excuse to get a load of geeks together and you know play some games and shit, right?
Yeah.
The odd unveiling, the odd announcement, but nothing amazing, right?
There was some gameplay footage of Deus Ex, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I haven't.
Oh, well, we won't talk about it then.
Okay. Well, actually, I was going to mention, because Gamescom in Germany is actually on at the moment. We're about two...
I've never wanted to be in Germany before.
Yeah,
today.
It's amazing. So Gamescom happening this week.
Yeah.
About 2 days in. 2 and a bit days in.
Yeah.
A
lot of people not shown up. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but a lot of people...
Capcom,
yeah,
I do believe, aren't showing anything there. It's because it's more of a public event. They want to show stuff to the media, press. So they're a bit snooty about what they show off, which is a bit of a shame, but there you go.
It just makes all the people who are there righteous dudes, I
guess. So anyways, basically, they're showing off Deus Ex, and there's Final Fantasy 14 there. They'll be playable. Everything that was announced for like the Wii at E3, that's pretty much there. Kinect was demoed yesterday. They showed a bit of the tech behind Kinect, which was kind of cool. And Fable 3, there's a demo of that. I'll actually watch that on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
Won't be playing it. That's your job. But anyway.
At some point, I will play it.
So there's lots of stuff. But what's the news? Let's get to the news. Let's get to the nitty gritty. What's going on? Well, basically, Microsoft, let's just say, have announced that on their new Windows 7 mobile phones, they're going to have Xbox Live, basically the service Xbox Live. There'll be games you can download and play on this phone.
Nice.
And you can earn achievements. It's like the full sort of Xbox experience ported to a mobile phone as best you can, sort of thing.
So it's sort of like their attempt at like a portable game.
Yeah, in a way. They're sneaking out the whole idea of let's have a little handheld console type thing, but not really. It's a phone. So they're kind of going for that thing. But, it could be successful.
Yeah.
You've got the whole avatar thing working in there. It's all integrated quite well. So,
Yeah. Well, didn't I hear some news? I'm not sure if you got it about the avatars getting updated.
Yes, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, cool.
That's to do with Kinect, which we're not really going to mention anymore, but let's do it for this.
Well, we're going to have to.
Yeah, we've been forced on that one. But so basically, you'll be able to download mobile versions of Assassin's Creed, Crackdown, and Castlevania. I think there's only 3 games have announced at the moment, coming out 4.
Is it the arcade Castlevania or the?
These possibly will be more arcade style games, because obviously they're suited better to a mobile phone because of the processing, graphics power and stuff. But these are the titles they're announcing it. We're saying, hey, look, we've got these cool games, and you'll be able to, and it's Xbox Live, and you'll be able to earn achievements, and that will all transfer back onto your console as well. So you earn them, they'll show up on your Xbox Live on your Xbox.
Okay, cool.
And I think it's like 200 game score for each game, like an arcade title basically, which is kind of a cool idea. I mean, they're not going for the full handheld thing with an actual, like doing their version of the PSP or the DS.
Well, it's a lot of money and a lot of development.
Exactly.
I mean,
the phone already exists. Why not try and do something with it?
I think Sony sort of demonstrated that it's not easy with the Titanic fail of the PSP. I think
we'll get onto the PSP in a little while.
Yeah, the main leaders in the handheld market are Nintendo. I don't think Microsoft wants to compete with them outright.
No, I don't think anyone really wants to. I mean, I think Sony are probably regretting it a little bit. But anyway, there's always other announcements. Most of these are just game announcements. But you mentioned about the avatars just now.
Yep.
There is going to be an update for the avatars coming November.
Yep.
And it's to do with Kinect. Basically speaking, there's an issue with the proportions, I think.
Yeah.
The human body and avatars are very different. The avatars are kind of cute little squished up versions of yourself, right? Therefore, you can reach out further than what your avatar can.
Right, yeah.
And there's causing a few issues with some of the games. So they're going to try and bring out slightly more realistic looking avatars that are a bit more proportioned to how you are. So
it is literally, it's going to scan you and put you in the...
Sort of, yeah. I mean, they're not going to look like... They still look like avatars. They'll still look like sort of how they look now. But the actual proportions and the length of the arms and legs and the body, it's all going to be a bit more normal. I can really say that.
As long as I can still wear my Mass Effect outfit, I'm happy.
Unless you're abnormal.
Yeah.
In which case it may not work that well. But it's all to do with the Kinect thing and, I mean, it's cool that they're going to do something about it, because, I mean, I know they've showed stuff, but apparently a lot of people are having... There's a hand-to-eye coordination issue as well.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at this avatar on screen and you're doing the movement, but your avatar might not actually be able to move as far as you can, might be able to reach out as far as you can, kind of thing. So that's sort of the issue they've sort of stumbled across, and at least they're going to do something about it, you know.
Will that affect all avatars then?
Yeah, I think so. It's just a major update for the whole thing.
That's cool. You see, I always thought avatars, they looks a little bit kind of like the Mii's on the Wii.
Yeah, but just
So,
higher res and
sort of higher res with actual proper limbs.
Yeah,
but
balls for hands.
Yeah,
that sounds wrong.
That's the name of the episode.
Balls for hands. Yeah. Okay, go.
But no, to sort of make them sort of more realistic, sort of somewhere halfway between like the Mii's and the avatars you get on like PlayStation Home or something.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
So yeah, well, that's just an extra bit of news you just added in there. Well done. So anyway, there's not that much more to talk about. It's going to be quite a short show actually, considering. But here's something that you are going to have an opinion on. I'm hoping you will.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes,
it's the fact that Mass Effect 2 is coming out for the PlayStation 3. Now, for a while, it's been a big thing that when the original Mass Effect came out, it wasn't tainted by EA. No. Right? It was, you know, Microsoft Game Studios.
You're stealing my rants, dude. Wrap it up.
All right. No, go ahead. It's all you now.
Yeah, You are expecting me to have a huge old rant about this, aren't you?
I don't know. Actually, I think you might be fairly impartial.
I'm going to be fairly impartial. There are two sides to it. On
there was a time when you probably would have been upset about this.
Yeah, true.
Now you're in a PlayStation.
Yes, but no, I think it is going to upset a lot of the Microsoft fanboys who went out and got the first game and everything. We're expecting like it's like carry on there, and now it's going over. But a lot of games, not a lot of third-party games, are going multi-platform now. I think the rage behind it is sort of dying down and everything, and you know, it's reaching out to another audience, which is a good thing because it's more exposure, more money, more
more money. But here's the thing, right? It's a continuing story, though, isn't it not?
That is one of my main sort of wonders about it. How is that going to work? Because the whole point of Mass Effect 2 is, standalone game. You don't need the first 8 games. It's all right there, but there are like characters and instances and things that happen.
That probably wouldn't make a lot of sense. Well, here's the thing. There is a bit of a history of this, and it's not the greatest example I can think of, but like, I was a big fan of the original Condemned on the Xbox. It was a launch title. It came out on the Xbox and the PC. Sold it right on Xbox. Didn't do so great on PC, right? Fun, kind of like horror, survival horror, scary kind of game, yeah?
Yeah.
Lots of melee, hitting hobos and that, right? Now, when the second game came out, it was on PS3 as well. So I'm thinking a lot of people will go, oh, Condemned 2. Where's the first one?
Yeah, how will they play the first one?
It's like, you know, I mean, you don't necessarily need to have played the first one to understand the story. It's pretty much set up for you, but that isn't the point. It does seem very strange that, you know, it is a money maker, it is a thing. That's why a lot of games that were announced as exclusives, like back in the day, Devil May Cry 4, that was going to be a PS3 exclusive. And then, you know, sure enough, it came to Xbox.
Final Fantasy 13.
You know, Tekken.
Yeah.
All these games eventually go multi-platform because there's money to be made. There's lots of dough to be made out of, you know.
And you know what?
This is what this is, though, really.
This is, I think...
EA. Greedy fuckers. I mean, greedy people.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an EA decision rather than a BioWare decision. Like I said, my issues are like the continuing story. How are they going to do that? Because there's a whole lot of content that's not going to be in there because you couldn't do a game. I have heard some rumours about this thing called Mass Effect Genesis, which might be sort of like a toned down, sort of previously on Mass Effect style
like
thing.
Like a downloadable type deal.
Possibly, where you might be able to do that. But you see, if they do it for this is the thing. And the press release for it, they said, oh yeah, it'll come out and it'll have like extra content and everything like that. Well, I'm sort of hoping that that's just going to be DLC that we've already got on the Xbox. I'm hoping that's what it is. Because, you know, fair enough, they get the DLC with it. They've had to wait a year for it and they didn't even know it was coming out. So that I can kind of get. A lot of people who have paid for the DLC, I can imagine they'll be all like, rrr.
Yeah, as far as you're not.
I've paid for the DLC, but you know, we got it a year previously, a year first, so we've now paying for the DLC and everything. We've now paid for that benefit, and you know that's fine. If they start doing things and tweaking things to the PlayStation version, I will want that on the Xbox version. Yeah. If they like update any of the graphics or anything, so I saw the trailer and it looked pretty nice. So if they do any graphical updates, I'm hoping that it will be sort of patched and updated in the main version. Obviously, the main benefit of it is Mass Effect 2 is on 2 discs, and there is a bit of disc swapping. So on the PS3 version,
You
I
won't
imagine
get that.
you won't get
No,
that. It will just
Blu-ray.
be on one Blu-ray.
Excellent. Well,
But, yeah, like I said, I'm hoping anything extra for the PlayStation version will be available to the Xbox
I mean, I
version.
don't see him picking too much favourites there as far as that goes.
No. But yeah, my main worry is the amount of stuff that you'll miss out on just because you couldn't play the first game.
Yeah,
I mean, if they
bit of a
could do like what I've heard the rumours of this Genesis thing, which is kind of like a short story where you can like make the decisions and alter your save game and have it so it's there. Then
because a lot of decision making involved in what you might end up playing in number 2, as if you have played the first one.
Yeah.
So these choices aren't there for these people, really.
No. I mean, certain characters and conversations and actors have been paid to record these lines and everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of writing's gone into them. A lot of the story. It's just you're joining it halfway through. It's sort of...
I mean, certain characters you get to pick whether they live or die or whatever, and they make an appearance. And, some decisions are quite minor. You only get like an email reference to it or something, like on your little onboard ship computer thing. So that's not too big a deal. But no, there are some quite big sort of story bits on there, and I just don't understand how it works. If they do release this Genesis thing for the PlayStation, sort of make up for not having the first game. So obviously they can't put the first game on PS3 because it's published by Microsoft.
Yeah.
But if they do like a sort of a fill-in, make a game save, so you can like carry on and get the sort of content for the third one, I would want them to see it released on Xbox as well. Not because we need it, but because it's just not fair that...
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, let's sort of move on from that. I mean, you made a fairly good point there. I understand everything that you're trying to get across there. It makes sense,
There is like the sort of tiny residual Xbox fanboy inside me that's saying, no!
Let's move on.
Okay.
Let it go. So, here's something that might brighten up your day a little bit.
Yes.
Not really, but you're aware of SingStar, another PlayStation Sony franchise here? Yeah, SingStar.
Yes.
Yeah. They've announced something called SingStar Guitar. What could you possibly think that could be? Sort of like Guitar Hero.
Possibly.
Sort of half of Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Without like drums. It's like Guitar Hero without the drums, right?
But you think Guitar Hero didn't always have the drums?
No, but like it didn't always have the mic.
True.
But this is basically SingStar
with a guitar.
With a guitar. Brilliant. Well done. So something I am excited about. No, fuck it. I ain't gonna talk about it anymore. I mean, screw it. I ain't gonna talk about it anymore.
It's genius.
It rhymes too. So there you go. Fantastic. Well done, Sony. Pat on the back. Something that was announced that I'm interested in. I mean, we don't want to talk about it, but I have to mention it again for this bit of news. But Connect, right? The big argument, a lot of people hate it. They don't. I was literally watching this thing yesterday, the demo, and because people were like able to add comments live and stuff, everyone's like, "Fuck it!" I mean, I want to see Halo. Let's see some Halo Reach. I was like, "Yeah, fair enough. You're here for your Halo, but some people might be interested in Connect, and a few people were. Majority of people don't really like the idea of this, right?
No, I think because it's
not geared for the hardcore, right? We've explained this before on the show, right? But this, to me, is something I can get behind. I like casual gaming, I like family fun, but here's something I really want to play. It's a game by Ubisoft, yeah? They've announced it, right? It's called Fighters Uncaged, right? You literally get to whoop someone's ass. It's well good. And there's actually trailers and that online now. Go like Google it or whatever, because like Go Game Trailers or whatever. I mean, they owe us money now because we just plugged them. But like, Fighters Uncaged is pretty cool. It's like, it's I mean, the graphics aren't amazing or anything like that, but like it's sort of like an old school kind of like sort of Street Fighter-ish type game, but you actually get to punch and kick and do all the moves and everything.
Pretty much what I was hoping
really cool.
would come out when we did like the big E3 Connect things, like the games.
I mean, there is a UFC training game, I think, been announced. I'm sure THQ are doing that.
Most likely.
But like, I think because they got the rights to UFC, but like, we've not seen anything about it. I've heard about it, but not really seen anything. this game looks kind of badass in a really. It's not, it's not the most amazing game, let's be honest, but it is kind of cool. I like it.
It opens the door.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, Connect's not just for all these cute animals and shit. It is for like, there's going to be slightly hardcore games. It's basically like Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
But you don't actually get to fight anyone. You get to punch the air. But that's kind of cool. I like it. I'll get it. Why not?
Fighting games are all good.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued in that. I think that'd be awesome. So that got me excited. Anyway, we've got the last bit of news we're going to talk about. Because there's a lot more stuff going on. I mean, there's tons of stuff we could talk about, but like, there's no real news. It's more just like, here's a new trailer for this game. Here's some more footage of this. Freaking Call of Duty Black Ops. That's, we're going to be cagey about our single player campaign and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's not real news, right? So, but there's a rumour. And it's something you mentioned about
rumours.
Yeah, well, most of them, we're a bit dubious about mentioning rumours on the show because like most of the time it's totally something else. But there's a rumour that the next version, the next iteration of the PSP, sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. PSP, right?
PSP,
the PlayStation Portable, right?
Yeah.
They've got it there. They're going to unveil it, right? But it's basically it's like the PSP Go, but it's got a touch screen and all this craziness. Touchscreen. DS, right? So basically trying to go for the DS, right? They don't even mention 3D though, so I'll say that.
Okay.
But like, yeah, the whole touchscreen there. So basically taking a PSP Go or whatever, slap the touchscreen on it now.
Oh, I might have seen a screenshot of this.
Well, yeah, there's some like a mock-up type thing. I don't know whether it's actually real.
Big sort of like flat screen panel.
Yeah. So like, it's kind of a cool thing, but at the end of the day, most people are over the whole PSP thing. From day one, that console was kind of, I wouldn't say doomed, but it's not. It's just gone downhill, really. I mean,
it's just a shame because there are so many sort of good ideas for games and everything on it.
Yeah.
And sort of games that a lot of the Sony developers who had like sort of games on the like PlayStation and everything have done follow-ons on the PSP, and because the PSP's not done so good, it means that the rest of the world who have sense and don't own a PSP will never get to play these games.
Yeah.
But
well, anyway, the rumour is that this thing exists,
yeah,
and that they're going to unveil it later on at Gamescom. But I mean, we're still part way through this convention, right? So there's still more news that's going to come out for next week, right? So there's still time to unveil stuff. But I mean, most of it is just saying these are the cool games we've unveiled at E3. Or these are the games we've shown before. Here's some more stuff to look at. Here's some stuff you can play. That's really what it is. It's sort of a bit like Quakecon in some respects, where it's mostly just here's the stuff, get hands on with it. So, cool. But that pretty much concludes all the news. So, and we've scrapped the last segment because there was so much news.
Yeah.
So, but worth mentioning, if you're any bit the slightest interested in Kane Lynch 2, comes out tomorrow or today if you're listening to this and you've downloaded it, right? Comes out Friday 20th, right? Already out in the US. So if you're listening in the US, we're not mental. It just comes out on a different day over here. So, comes out tomorrow.
We're not mental. We're British.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
So basically speaking, that comes out. My video review is going to go up the same time that this podcast goes up.
Excellent.
And happy viewing and all that. So we'll be back next week with possibly a lot more news from Gamescom. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, please check out the website. It's www.Games4allpodcast.com. And I do believe we're on Twitter.
We are indeed. Twitter.com/Games4all.
Fantastic. We're also on Facebook. We can't remember the URL for that, but
Facebook, look for Games4all.
Search it in. So we want to thank all our Ustream listener and
hello Ashton.
And basically thank you very much for downloading the show. And we shall see you again very shortly next week, in fact. Yeah. And hopefully have a lot more news and a lot more other things to talk about. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.